As with most custom makeovers, these would-be Eleanors don't start out looking too good. In fact, most of them are in pretty rough condition. That's where the guys at Unique come in. It's their job to give this beaten-up old banger some real star power. When this crew builds an Eleanor, they start in the same way that Carroll Shelby did back when he built his GT500s, tricking out existing fastbacks. But where Shelby used new cars straight from the Ford factory, Unique uses whatever they can get their hands on.
We get the donor cars from all parts of the country. I mean, you name it, they're there. I mean, I have a warehouse here close hereby that we probably got 15, 20 cars sitting right over there now, and every one of those have names on them.
This is the next in line, and she's going to get a total makeover. This car is going to be redone beyond description. Only then will she be a true Eleanor. The only thing they will salvage here is the body, the current interior, the powertrain, the suspension. They won't make the cut for this Mustang. As with the latest movie Eleanor, this crew insists on using the Mustang Fastback as the starting point for their new rides. But they would never start with a real 1967 Shelby GT500 as the original Eleanor did. With only a handful left in the world, they're real collector's items, with price tags of $125,000 and up. These cars are more likely to be found in a museum than on the scrap heap.
We got our 8-track here. We went through all the rat. We got our diamond plate seats. It's coming out of our choice sound deadening package on our custom stereo system that was wired up. It's rough. It's real rough.
So while Brandon Dawson removes the old sound system, David Reed surveys the outside of the car.
Really impressed with the shell. It's supposed to have been in storage since 1977, I understand. It's the kind we like.
There's your nice racing seat.
Hello. That's working.
Let me get that from this side, Bobby.
I can see through it right here, yeah.
All right. We got a big ass problem.
What's the matter?
Look at this.
What's dead under there? Okay. Call in Terminex.
I don't know if I'm going to crawl into that car or not after y'all got them ants going.
Oh, man.
Had to go somewhere,
they were under those sound deadening mats and everything.
Actually, we're ready to drop the transmission.
This type of design work requires highly specialized skills. Unique's Bobby Mikus used to run his own hot rod shop, and when he made the move to Farmers Branch, he brought most of his talented crew with him.
It's real difficult to find people in this business that have the, what I call, or David and I call, have the touch.
Holy moly.
It's more like an art than just changing a fender or a door or something like that. You really got to have the touch, and a lot of the older guys have that. Yeah, we'll shake all the bugs loose. That's fine. Once he gets this cut out, we'll drop the transmission on it.
Well, the box still ain't coming out, though.
Just cut the box away, that's it.
This gear stick is difficult to remove, but it also provides clues to the identity of the previous owner.
We had an old Ricky Racer back in the 70s, it looks like, for this car. It's one of your homeboy hot rodders. So, looks like they tried to be a stereo freak, too, so they put in their modifications for their stereo system, too. We're eliminating all of that.
The car's body is in good shape. The original driver obviously took real care of his ride.
Basically, this car looks like it's pretty much wreck-free, you know. Obviously, the fronts are a little boogered up on them, but it hadn't ever been hit.
The stubborn gear stick and the extreme stereo aren't the only challenges for these guys. The glove compartment also holds a few surprises.
So we found our rat home. This is where all our rat poo is from.
Smells like it too. Here, jump out of there.
Keep that vacuum cleaner handy.
Golly, look at that. What a mess.
After disassembly, Eleanor is a little worse for wear. It's hard to believe that this will soon look like this. But there's one last step before they can start to rebuild her.
As you can see, we physically have stripped this car down to the point to where we're ready for sodium blasting next.
It's quick, it's strong, but not abrasive enough to damage the metal. And it's environmentally friendly to boot. It's baking soda. But this brand shouldn't be kept in the kitchen. It has enlarged particles and sharp edges. No good for baking cakes, but coarse enough to get a tough job done.
We're going to do the inside of this car, the outside, the underside. We're going to remove the undercoating and take off all the paint off the outside of the car. And it's going to take somewhere in the 4 to 7 hour range. So in 1 hour with this machine, we'll use one 50-pound bag of baking soda.
Until she's completely stripped down, they don't know for sure if the car will work. Now that she's had a once-over with the soda blaster, they can get a good look at all the bits and pieces and determine if this car body can be made roadworthy.
We've had some come in that after we sodium blasted, we've made the determination we don't want the car. And what we do to that, we usually take and cut up the better pieces of the car and just save them for the next car that comes along, and we'll just basically destroy that and throw it away, what's left, because it's just too far gone. And we've had 2 or 3 so far like that.
Got it?
I gotta do one thing here and we can lift it up.
Hold on a minute.
Now they've removed the usable parts, it's time for the first phase of metal fabrication. They make room for new taillights. These originally came from a 1965 Thunderbird. But some parts can't be borrowed or copied. Certain design elements are strictly and absolutely Eleanor.
We had some really kind of righteous elliptical exhaust tips coming out of the rockers that were kind of one-offs that we made. They weren't practical on the movie cars. It's tricky because there's not a lot of clearance under the unibody to get the pipes exiting on the side on a Mustang. You know, it's really, we lowered them and there's not a lot of space for them to come across over under the unibody and exit the sides. So I really don't know how they tackled that with the cars that are in production today, basically.
They did it by cutting straight through the sill. Another design element that's all Hollywood, the petrol cap.
The stock Shelby, correct me if I'm wrong, is between the taillights for where the gas fill normally goes. We wanted something a little racier, a little more dynamic, you know. So, and again, it differentiates the stock Shelby from Eleanor.
They'll move the petrol cap to the sail panel and attach it to a new 56-litre fuel cell instead of a metal fuel tank. These brake vents are elements that stay true to the Mustang's original design. On certain models of the first breed of Mustang, these vents were strictly ornamental. When Shelby made his GT models, he installed